We often play Jailbreak without much thought. It's a cops and robbers game, and nothing more, right? Actually, that's wrong. There's a storyline in Jailbreak that has been unfolding throughout the past 9 years, and while the live events are the primary factor in the story, there have been some normal updates that also contributed to the story. So without further ado, let's take a look at the Roblox Jailbreak storyline from 2017 to 2026. The Jailbreak storyline begins on April 21st, 2017, the same day that the game released. When the game was released, everything seemed normal except for one thing. Right next to the town, there is a meteor. Now, nothing was off about the meteor itself. It was just a meteor. It was just a little odd that it was there. But a few months later, in February of 2018, the meteor began to grow and glow purple. And then a purple liquid seeped into the ground. The people on the island learned that they could utilize this liquid to give boost to their cars, and the purple liquid became known as rocket fuel. The people on the island kept using rocket fuel, but then on April 1st, 2018, the meteor exploded, leaving rocket fuel everywhere and revealing a UFO inside. Aliens invaded the Jailbreak Island and attacked a few locations, but very quickly retreated. Then, on November 8th, 2018, the criminal volcano erupted in the first ever live event. The volcano eruption was likely caused by a chemical reaction with the rocket fuel, but nobody knows for sure. However, it's important to know that no one intentionally caused this live event. A few months after the alien invasion and the volcanic eruption, military jets began flying over the map and dropping airdrops. Then, a monster truck appeared at the meteor and appeared to be pulling it by a rope. Everyone was wondering what was going on and why the military had suddenly shown up out of nowhere. But then shortly after this, more monster trucks would appear in the Rising City desert and began constructing something big that would change Roblox Jailbreak storyline forever. On March 24th, 2019, the construction would be complete. Turns out, the military had been making a base in the Rising City desert to research the aliens that had invaded the island months prior. Additionally, the meteor had been moved inside the military base to keep it protected and to perform research. Alright, I want to call a quick time out to mention something that's probably important. Maplestick. Maplestick made some of the earlier textures for Jailbreak, and at one point he was even driving the cargo train. Then he released a puzzle of some sorts that led to a cryptic message. The message read, "We will take over." This was also the code that led to that gave you access to the armor texture, which is now valued at $1.5 million in the trading island. I don't know exactly where this fits into the story, but I figured I should mention it because it's probably very important. The storyline would go quiet for the remainder of 2019 as Asimo and Badcc made great improvements to the game. However, in 2020, the story would quickly start up again whenever Badcc released this trailer on his YouTube channel. Nobody knew who the cloaked person was at the time, and even in the actual event, it was just a randomly selected person on the server. The nuke was launched and the event played out how we all know it did. The tornado came, picked up all the buildings, and then there was a flood, and then we were revealed in the new city. All you need to remember is that a mysterious person pushed the big red button. Then, once again, the storyline would go quiet for almost 2 years, until Asimo uploaded this to his YouTube channel. What was going to happen this time? Well, meteors rained down on the map. Nobody thought much of it, because, meteor showers happen. Surely nobody planned this, though. Right? Wrong. See, I've left one key detail out of this event. Towards the end, a mysterious figure came over the radio, speaking over Asimo and Badcc, and I'll let him do the talking. Who was this mysterious person, and how did they manage to cause a meteor shower? Well, we would find out the answer to this just a few months later in the winter 2022 update. The CEO is behind the past two attacks, the Meteors in 2022 and the nuke in 2020. One of his henchmen launched the nuke by hitting the big red button in 2020, and he used a meteor magnet to rain terror over the island in 2022. The people on the island fight the CEO at his mansion over and over and over again, until 2024, when the CEO made his final stand.
You are about to meet my new whoa.
God. Oh, what's that? Yo! HP? 50k?
It's boss fight.
Boss fight!
Boss fight.
Boss fight! Yo! It's running away? What the heck? Uh-oh. What is that? What happened? What happened? Dude, what is that? You've been awarded the 2024 live event rooms, W's. Oh no! Jailbreak's over! Jailbreak's over!
The time machine is ready! Go! I'm flying! Whee! Whoa, there's a portal!
A special task force? Bro, y'all have tears. Y'all. They need 2 billion cash to fund their attack.
On April 20th, 2024, in the 2024 live event, the CEO would call aliens to attack the Jailbreak Island once again. Yeah, I said again. He did it back in 2018 too, originally with the purple meteor. This guy's been here pretty much since the beginning of time, and he was probably even the chicken guy in the RPO event. Anyway, the Alien Invasion version 2.0 failed once again. The developers would escape with us in a time machine back to 2019 Jailbreak, May 17th, 2019 to be exact. This was when the military was first establishing themselves on the island, and the developers would use this to their advantage. Together, the players would raise $2 billion in 2019 in order to fund the military enough to defeat the CEO. They would succeed, as far as we know. And that's it. That's the entire Jailbreak storyline from 2017 to 2026. Well, except for the small subplots with the collector, like finding the tomb and finding the trade hub. But besides it, that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Y'all really don't know how much it means to me. Anyways, I'll see y'all later. Peace.